Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hello everyone and welcome. This is Ashima Shukla, your current affairs and banking awareness faculty on Entry platform, and in this video we'll be talking about all the major news events that have taken place in the past days. The discussion is going to involve all the major news events in a form of a highlight so that you all get major updates without missing anything on the updates and without wasting much of the time. Also, for those who want to practice questions for your examination, we have free live quiz happening on Entry app every day for your daily practice. So you can log on to Entry app, for which the link is provided in the description section below and in the comment section below. After downloading the app, you will be getting a lot of free mock tests, test series, and a lot of study material free of cost available. Let's begin the discussion on news events with the first news event related to Reserve Bank of India. A revised regulatory framework for non-banking financial corporations or NBFCs, which is a scale-based regulation, has been announced to start being implemented by RBI recently. So it was effective from it's going to be effective from October 1, 2022. So from 2022 October 1st, it is going to be applicable. In this, what has RBI done is RBI has categorized the NBFCs into four layers or four scales based on their size, activity, and perceived riskiness. These being NBFC base layer, then we have NBFC middle layer, then we have NBFC upper layer, and then we have the top layer. These are the four layers which are going to be formed of NBFCs, out of which the top layer is going to ideally remain empty. It can get populated if Reserve Bank is of the opinion that there is a substantial increase in the potential systemic risk from a specified NBFCs in the upper layer. But currently it is going to be empty until unless there is someone which has increased the risk. Also, the minimum net owned fund requirement for NBFCs. The regulatory minimum net owned fund for NBFC ICC, MFI and factors will be increased to 10 crore rupees from the current 2 crore rupees. So this increase is also going to happen from 2 crore, which is at present, to 10 crores, and NBFC P2P, AA and NBFCs with no public funds and no customer interface, the NOF or net owned fund will continue to be at 2 crore rupees. So these are the exceptional NBFCs, P2P, AA and with no public funds and no customer interface. Rest of all, the minimum net owned fund requirement is going to be increased to 10 crore. Ceiling on IPO funding has also been put up. There will be a ceiling of 1 crore rupees per borrower for financing subscription to initial public offering of NBFCs. IPO ceiling will be effective from 1st of April 2022 itself, whereas the rest of it is going to be applicable from 1st of October 2022. Then we have AIFI. The Reserve Bank of India has proposed a minimum of 11.5% capital for all India financial institutions. Now, in this, first of all, what are these four All India financial institutions? They are National Housing Bank, Exim Bank, Small Industries Development Bank of India or SIDBI, and National Bank of Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD. For these four All India financial institutions, there is a minimum of 11.5% capital. The capital norms are going to be applicable from 2022. All the four AIFIs should have a minimum total capital of 9% from 1st of April 2022, and minimum capital buffer should be at 2.5%. So capital 9% and buffer of 2.5% is going to be required. That is the division of the 11.5%. The minimum common equity tier 1 capital of these institutions should be 5.5%. Minimum tier 1 capital requirement is supposed to be 7%, and they have to adopt standardized approaches to measure the capital charge for market risk as well as credit risk. This minimum capital is in accordance with the Basel III framework, which we are trying to implement in a phased manner to raise the resilience of the AIFI in the periods of stress. Then we have Shri Dhanvantri Generic Medical Store Scheme, which has been started by Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel ji. It aims to provide medicines at low and affordable rates to consumers. It's going to be run by Urban Administration and Urban Department. These medical stores are going to sell 251 types of generic medicines and 27 surgical products. Then we have FATF, Financial Action Task Force. Financial Action Task Force or FATF has retained Pakistan on the grey list of its countries. Recently an FATF meeting was there, and in that they have decided to keep Pakistan in the grey list. Why? Because there was a 34 action plan which was suggested to Pakistan, which they were supposed to address, but they did not address all. They have addressed 30 out of these 34. 4 action items are still remaining, and therefore it has not been removed from the grey list. So since when has Pakistan been on grey list? Since June 2018 it has been on the grey list due to the deficiencies in terror financing and any anti-money laundering regimes and failure to comply with the FATF mandates as well. Also, there are 3 new countries which have been added to this FATF grey list, that being Turkey, Jordan and Mali. These are the 3 new countries which have been added into the list of Financial Action Task Force grey list. Grey list countries, what are they bound that they will not be getting? Grey list countries will not get any financial aid from IMF or International Monetary Fund, World Bank, Asian Development Bank and European Union. That is, they are not going to get any international help in terms of money when a country is in a grey list of FATF. Then we have a few one-liners. 4th General Assembly of Multilateral Body International Solar Alliance, which we had discussed recently in a few days back, that was being organized. It has finally completed. Over 108 countries were there who participated in this. 74 were the member countries. Then we had 34 observer nations and 23 partner organizations which were also a part of it. In this, they have decided to achieve 1 trillion global investments target in the solar energy by the year 2030. Sports Authority of India has appointed Commodore P.K. Garg ji as the Chief Executive Officer of the Target Olympic Podium Scheme or TOPS. He will be replacing Commander Rajesh Rajgopalan ji. And then we have Government of India, which has approved the appointment of Captain Alok Mishra ji as the Managing Director of India Ports Global Limited IPGL. The duration of the appointment is going to be 5 years. And IPGL is basically a state-owned entity which is tasked with developing and running strategically important and India-funded Chabahar port in Iran, which is basically a trilateral agreement port where we have India, Iran and Afghanistan working on it. Then we have Defence Minister Shri Rajnath Singh ji, who launched a book with the title Veer Savarkar, the man who could have prevented the partition. It has been authored by Uday Mahurkar ji and Chirayu Pandit ji, and it has been released or launched by Shri Rajnath Singh ji. It's based on life of Hindu Mahasabha leader, that is Vinayak Damodar Savarkar ji, and there are various facets of Savarkar's life which have been unknown to the people of the country. Defence Research and Development Organization successfully flight tested the high-speed expendable aerial target Abhyas from Integrated Test Range Chandipur off the coast of Bay of Bengal in Odisha. Abhyas is designed and developed by DRDO Laboratory, Aeronautical Development Establishment, Bengaluru for the Indian Armed Forces. Then next which we have is Hungarian filmmaker Istvan Szabo and Hollywood filmmaker Martin Scorsese have been chosen as the recipient of the inaugural Satyajit Ray Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Cinema. It will be given in the 52nd edition of International Film Festival of India, which will be held in Goa. The announcement of this award was done in the last edition of this India International Film Festival, but it is for the first time that this is going to be given out as well. Where is this International Film Festival going to be organized? It will be held in Goa in the month of November, 20 to 28th of November. When was it formed? In 2021. This year it is being started because it is the birth centenary of Shri Satyajit Ray ji, and the award will have 10 lakh rupees, a shawl, a silver peacock medal, and a scroll as well. Ramnath Krishnji has been appointed as the new managing director and group chief executive officer of rating agency ICRA. Barbados has elected Sandra Mason as its first president as a part of its plan to become a republic nation and remove Britain's Queen Elizabeth II as the head of state. Now, he's the current Governor General of the country and he's going to take the office from 30th of November. On 30th of November, it's going to be 55 years of independence of Barbados from Britain, but there has not been an independent government in Barbados since then. They have become an independent state in 1966 on 30th of November, and they were free from Commonwealth realm, but still it was the rule of the crown, or you can say there was no self-government still. A new book with the title The Origin Story of India's States has been written by Venkat Raghavan Subha Srinivasanji recently, which narrates the fascinating political and historical circumstances of the birth of Indian states and union territories. India, Israel, UAE, and USA. They have announced to launch a new quadrilateral economic forum. The new quad is going to help in framing the future economic and generate joint infrastructure projects in the field of transportation, technology, maritime security, economics, and trade. So we already have India is already a part of a quad, which being Japan, USA, India and Australia, and now we are going to be a part of second quad, which will have Israel and UAE, whereas US and India are also a part of this quad. Web-based project monitoring portal was launched by Union Defence Minister Shri Rajnath Singh ji. It was launched for military engineering services. It is developed by Bhaskaracharya National Institute of Space Applications and Geoinformatics, or BISAG-G. It's going to help in real-time monitoring of projects from their inception to their completion. India has attained a milestone of crossing 100 crore doses of COVID-19 vaccination on 21st of October, and we have attained this 100 crore doses in 9 months after the vaccination drive was started. Truth Social, it's name of a social media platform announced by Donald Trump and is going to be rolled out in the next year. Bharti AXA Life Insurance Company Limited has signed a bank assurance pact with Utkarsh Small Finance Bank recently via the bank's network in India, and due to this collaboration, Bharti AXA will be able to reach tier 2 and tier 3 markets in India and sell their insurance products to these markets as well. Then we have Itilite, which has partnered with ICICI Bank to issue commercial credit cards to business cards in India. Bellatrix Aerospace and Dhruv Space have signed an MOU with Larsen and Torbro to give an enhancement to efforts being taken to address the increasing demand of affordable access to the space. This has happened recently, where they'll be allowing leveraging the expert solutions of L&T and technologies of Bellatrix for the Indian space sector. This MOU was signed at the Dubai Expo 2020, which is currently ongoing. And with this, we'll be winding up this segment, and I hope this session has been helpful. We'll see you in the next video with more news events. Till then, don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for everyday updates. We'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.